Right on. I've been waiting to get to these guys for a while. West, my friend, is here on SBS Live this week. Welcome back to the show. We're here for another edition with some of our Vima superstars. West, my friend, is up for Best Roots Album of the Year with their new album, Place, and there's a justifiable reason why. They blend a really unique style of kind of some old-time harmonies with some really inventive music. And when I say inventive, it gets right down to a toy saxophone with this band. They reach out for all kinds of sounds, all kinds of unique experiences through life and through their music. And it was a true pleasure to have West, my friend, here on the show. Now, of course, I don't want to be rude. Again, I mentioned they're up for Best Roots Album of the Year at the Vancouver Island Music Awards this year, Sunday. It's coming up very soon. But I'd be rude to not show it. So there you are, in all its splendid glory. Let's get some light in this place. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. Alright, so anyway, West, my friend, was here, and we covered a lot of topics. I didn't pull any punches with these guys. One of my first experiences with West, my friend, was sitting here with Jeff Jeffries, radio host in Vancouver, and we were watching a video called Take It Slow that we're going to show for you later today. Now, in this show, there's a heinous crime committed, one of beard murder. So to begin with, I honestly, I don't know if I've ever been so scared to interview a band, if I think about it. But all jokes aside, Jeff, Alex, Eden, and Adam were all a pleasure to have here in the studio. All offered great insights into their music and what's happening over on the local scene. I thought they had done a tremendous amount of research on myself personally, because they stopped by my high school just days before arriving here at SBS on their tour over here on the mainland. Turns out they were just there for a good time with the students. They had a fantastic time teaching them a song and showing them, you know, just kind of the unity of what music can do for people and how it brings them together. So, West, my friend, we salute you. I'd like to welcome you back to the program. SBS Live this week is here with another full edition. Here's West, my friend. First of all, you guys battled the rain to be here today, so thank you very much for doing that. I wanted to have some fun today, and then I saw the rain coming out, and I was like, I don't know, how's this going to go? Some people dig the rain, some people don't. But I wanted to have some fun, so let's figure out quickly here how I want to start this. I got it. Okay. So we're on SBS Live this week, and as you know, we're big into doing our research. We've got West, my friend, here with us today, and their friend Brett, who's touring with them at the moment. And this has got to be, I have got to say, probably the most, hardcore metal band I think I've ever come across. Right?
A lot of Pig's blood.
Right?
A lot of Pig's blood.
You have to excuse me for a second. That was for you guys that think all we do is rock. Okay, so, Wes, my friend, thank you again for being here. For those of you that haven't met them yet, again, we've got Eden, Jeff, Adam, Alex, and Brett. Much quicker than the last time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Tell me about evolution, because I looked on the Facebook page, and I found that you guys talk a lot about musical evolution and how it's kind of a continuous thing for musicians. So, when it comes to that, you guys started in 2009. Where did you start and where are you now?
Well, I think technically we started when Alex and Jeff were in grade school together.
Grade 1 and 2.
Okay.
Recorder class.
They've known each other for a long time. And we sort of came together in 2009 through different bands, through the music school at UVic. We all sort of came to know each other and play music with each other. And when we first started, we were an eclectic group for sure. We played lots of different instruments. We would finish a song and yell switch, and then all switch instruments, and then switch, including a globe, which was technically a band member. Right. And so we sort of moved on from there. We lost one of our other lead singers. She went off to start a funk band, and we picked up the bass, and we decided we would sort of settle into an instrument each for the most part.
Okay,
yeah, and then in the last little while we've picked up Adam on bass, and it's just been like a stellar addition to the band.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta just reach out for a quick second here. Those are some impressive beards, gentlemen. We're big fans of beards on this show, so you know, it's good. And I got other questions about that. I'm gonna get into that in a bit here. But so
we actually call them team beards.
Team beards, right? Yeah, absolutely. You know, probably Velcro them right together.
Great.
So what about the goals themselves? Like when you started West, my friend, did you expect to kind of be where you're at now? And I guess has the goal or the original plan for West, my friend, changed?
I wasn't expecting this when we started. I mean, I don't think I would have ended up in the situation of being one of the main singers in a band if we hadn't started the way we had, which was more sort of a singer-songwriter circle of sharing songs that we had made and trying to fill them in. But after our other female lead singer left and we picked up the bass, we definitely sort of solidified and decided like what we wanted to sound like and started having more, you know, band meetings and envisioning and stuff like that.
Now, I mean, yourself, obviously beautiful voice. I've heard at least, I don't know, I'm not well versed, but probably a good 4 or 5 songs on repeat. And I mean, seriously though, you've got great tone, you've got great style, but confidence isn't developed overnight.
No.
How did you get kind of like confirmation along the way, or how did you realize this was something you could do?
Well, I mean, I've been singing since I was really little with my mom, just, you know, in the car or wherever, doing harmonizing with each other. I used to be in a band with her when I was a kid, or when I was a teenager, and I was also in a band when I was in grade 7 with my friend Jiren Freeman Fox and other high school friends, or elementary school friends. And then I was in a funk band for a while and did mostly backup vocals. But I'm also a music teacher and have taken like choir teaching classes and stuff like that. So I've got, aside from our band, I've got experience like being in front of large groups and helping to make music happen. And yeah.
Cool. Moving on from singers, we'll move just a little bit over, just right over to the right of you actually. I want to go into the video for Take It Slow. And I think you guys know a little bit about probably where I'm going with this, but
there's a couple places.
Yeah, there's a lot actually. You should see the list here. Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of instrumentation. You guys have a massive list in terms of what you do and what you can play, which is very cool to look at. But now all of a sudden, Jeff, you bust out this toy saxophone solo in the middle of the song. I mean, I love that kind of stuff, man. Like, you got a lot of, like, Fisher-Price keyboards and stuff. Like, well, how does it work?
Not too many. I actually got that saxophone for my 3rd birthday.
No way.
It's actually,
really?
Yeah, there's a photo of me on my 3rd birthday. I can send that to you. And, you know, I just kind of had it, and it kind of, I guess, comes from the old West, my friend, of playing lots of ridiculous, crazy instruments all the time. Because usually I play accordion in the band.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I also have a degree in classical saxophone.
Okay.
And so I guess that's where the toy saxophone that can play 1 scale in C major comes in.
So going into that, like, is there any, like, how much technicality is there in playing a toy saxophone solo?
Well, it's actually getting harder because the thing is kind of starting to wear out a little bit.
Okay.
So whenever I press the E down, it likes to stay up.
Right,
so I'm kind of having to like get two hands on that now, coordinate the pressing back down of the E and thinking about, which notes to avoid.
It's the challenges of an indie band that people don't realize.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
Well, and even in that recording, we had to auto-tune down some of the notes too.
Yeah, because
right?
we wanted to get, the Careless Whisper reference in there.
Right.
And that covers more than an octave, more than the range of the actual instrument. So, our engineer did some magic and got those notes in there.
So that was a conscious choice. You wanted the Careless Whisper kind of theme
Sexy
roaming
sax
through the
man.
back. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean the reason we have the solo is because one day Eden and I were just sitting at my house like after band practice. The others had left. She was gonna leave, and she's like, "Oh, I wrote this song," and so she just like played it for me in the living room, and I just had the toy saxophone on hand.
Yeah.
We were recording it on my iPhone, and I took a toy saxophone solo, and it stuck.
And it stuck right away.
We added the rest of the band in.
I think that's cool that you guys left that kind of stuff in there, or that you even reached for that kind of stuff. Because, again, any instrument in the hands of the right musician, right? You can make some really cool sounds. And honestly, I loved everything about that. I was sitting here with the host of the Great Canadian Hit List, Jeff Jeffries. Always got to do my promotional shout-outs and whatnot. But seriously, Jaws on the Ground, we had kind of exhausted our supply of music that we had kind of to look at, and he was like, who else do you have? And I'm like, I got nothing, man. I think we've done it. We were sitting there for like 5 hours. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, I got one more coming in. Hang on, let's take a look at this. And we take a look at this first video for, Take It Slow. And just absolutely Jaws on the Ground, both of us. And neither of us are really drawn to folk music overall. There's a lot of people that are in your influences that I really connect with, but to tell you the truth, I don't know if I ever really identified them as folk music. Like, that's what I was listening to. I was just listening to music kind of thing. But again, I don't want to leave the video just yet. Who are these kids? They're adorable. What's going on? Seriously, I'm a bearded man. I'm not supposed to say children are adorable. They were, though. They were great. You got it, right? I mean, they were awesome.
Yeah. Well, everyone except for the main girl actor, who is a guitar student of Jeff's, comes from an independent school that I work at called Oak and Orca.
Okay.
And so I convinced all of them and their parents to let them be in this video. And
right.
Yeah, many of them have been wearing their little West My Friend buttons since then, and they're being
awesome.
like, look, my badge, Yeah, Team West My Friend.
You guys must have thought that was pretty rewarding, though, to see that come back the first time. It's well shot.
Yeah.
I mean, they came out perfect, in terms of that. And I think, I don't know, is it tough to get kids to do that? I mean, it's pretty formal for kids, really, in a way, right?
The two kids who were doing that, like the main acting, were great. Like they were astounding. They were so cold during the shooting. They were standing there like shivering, and we would like wrap them in blankets for like 5 minutes, and then like be like, go again. The kids who were in the band, one or two of them were like, are we done yet? After a few minutes, and we had to like heckle with them as to like how much longer we could shoot. But they were also really adorable too. So.
Well, I think at the end of the day, what's on screen, it looked like it worked out really well. Roots album of the year, West My Friend. The album is Place. This album is honestly so strong that it doesn't even have Take It Slow on it. This album holds up on its own in a million different ways, and there's a lot of great clips of what you can see from that album online already. And we're going to show you a couple here. One that I'd like to show you today is called Take It Slow. We mentioned it before in the intro. This is how we very first viewed West My Friend for the very first time. It's an absolutely adorable video, and it's definitely worth taking a look at. So here's West My Friend with Take It Slow on SBS Live this week.
Hi, I'm Rosie Betts, and this message is brought to you by West My Friend.
I know, it's with that look in your eyes.
Ba-doom, 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 doom, doom.
And it sure as hell don't mean you wanna go home alone tonight. But let's take it slow, so we got somewhere left to go. And I promise you I'll for sure keep you in the know. I stop thinking just how. So after the concert I walk you home in the dark now. Even though we both know you can hold your own. I kick it old school and I walk you to your front door. You're leaning for a kiss, I lean in for a little more, and I could devour your lips, but let's leave it at that. Oh, let's leave it at that. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause I know what's with that look in your eyes. And it sure as hell don't mean you wanna go home alone tonight. But let's take it slow, so we got somewhere left to go. And I promise you I'll for sure keep you in the know. Mr. Jeffrey Pointer on toy saxophone. I know what's with that look in your eyes. And it sure as hell don't mean you wanna go home alone tonight. But let's take it slow, so we got somewhere left to go. And I promise you I'll for sure keep you in the know. I'll keep you in the know now.
Keep you in the know.
I'll keep you in the know now.
Keep you in the know.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the know now.
Keep you in the know.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the know.
Oh, sweetie, there is always somewhere left to go.
And it sure as hell don't mean you wanna go home alone tonight. But let's take
When it comes to that, though, what is important for you guys? Because I think no matter the video that you pick, whether or not it's something like Benji or something like Saturn, maybe, there's a sentiment that comes through in this band, no matter what video you choose. So what's important for you guys to kind of display when you're making a video? Is there a conscious kind of collective thought behind what you put on screen?
To this point, I don't know. I'd almost be inclined to say to this point, no. We try to keep the videos idiomatic to a certain degree, right? So, and we're just in this place now where we're starting to realize that, hey, video content is really the way to go for the band. You know, we've been going on this tour, and I've been sitting down after shows trying to sell CDs so we can pay for gas money, but also talking to audience to try to figure out, what they're attracted to, what brought them out to the show. You know, what are they connecting with the band?
Right.
And the number one answer I get is, well, I heard about the show, I checked you out on YouTube, and I loved the video, so I came down. So we're seeing that that's a really, really powerful thing for us. And so as we go out there into the video world, I think we're trying to get these videos that are quirky and kind of catchy, but each one of them has to reflect, what's going on in the song. So take it slow, totally, cute little kids, let's, kill them with the love. If we were to do a video for, for Saturn Maybe, it'd be completely different.
Right.
Yeah, with Saturn Maybe, we're hoping to do like a live shot video in an observatory.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to line that up.
Yeah, really.
Do it with a string quartet.
Yeah, if we could
No
make it happen.
kidding,
Space and
Yeah, we did it with the string quartet for our CD release.
Really?
So, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of awesome, right? I mean, you guys are getting some opportunities that, to bring some other musicians into the mix now too, right? And that's cool.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions for you guys. You guys have the Vancouver Island Music Awards coming up.
Yeah.
where you're nominated for Roots Album of the Year for your album Place, correct? Yeah, I got a few details right today.
Awesome. And while we're at it, shout outs totally to James Casper for putting that whole thing together. Huge supporter of the music scene over there in Vancouver Island. If it wasn't for him, man, yeah, he's doing some great stuff there.
And I mean, he connected us today, so we're thankful for that. He's, my experience with him over there on the island, we went over there for one day, did interviews with 5 bands, rapid style.
Right on.
And just very cool guy to meet, lots of energy, and I'm absolutely looking forward to a great awards show this year. So, I mean, when you guys win, what are you going to say? Like,
Thank you, Mom.
There you go.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Have you thought about it much, though? Like, is it
Adrian.
Yeah, thank you, Papa Adrian.
Papa Adrian?
Papa Adrian Dolan, who produced and engineered the album, was definitely a world of help.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, he plays every single one of our instruments and pretty much has perfect pitch, I'm pretty sure. And he would just sort of sit there and be like, do it again, I'll give you chocolate when it's good, you know?
It worked. But that's good, though. I mean, it is, because my view of what recording companies need to do is, at least examine the people that they're working with, understand what they're capable of, and then hold them to it. I hate to say it, but once I know kind of what you guys can do, I mean, if I don't see it, record gets pushed again. It's got to happen, right?
Yeah.
And you guys would only want the same because you guys care about your music and what you do.
Totally, yeah.
But how much do you guys think about the upcoming awards show, and like, how has that impacted you as a band? Like, what kind of an achievement is that for you?
I think for me, it's a great nod and acknowledgement, just a nomination.
Yeah.
But I think I've kind of been more interested just in what we're actually doing right now. Like, winning the award is great, but right now, personally, I'm just more excited about, like, potentially winning the award would be great.
Right.
But right now, I'm just more excited about, we're going out and doing like touring. We're doing the tour now. We're doing another tour in August. So it's almost kind of like the nomination is more just a nod in the direction
the ball
that
this ball is
rolling.
Right.
Totally.
So
A good confirmation of what, how things
Well, that's
are
the
rolling.
thing, you always want that external confirmation. They're like, okay, great, this is
Other people have
this is a
noticed.
thing.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, it's great.
Onward and upward.
Last year, our song Saturn Maybe got nominated for Song of the Year. Yeah. And because our CD wasn't quite out yet, but that song was, right? So I mean, this is our first full-length CD, so it's nice to have a nomination right off the bat.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to think about like the nomination or the awards too much, because then if we think about it too much and then we don't win,
you're like,
I'd rather think if we win, then I'd rather make a big deal out of it.
I think that's where I come in anyway. I mean, I haven't met the other bands. I'm sure they're great.
They're great.
In
We
the
know
Roots
a lot of them.
category.
Yeah.
They're all friends.
But I haven't met you, and you guys are here now. So guess who I'm supporting in Marlton this year?
Thank you.
So best of luck, West, my friend.
Thank you.
As far as the influences go, I saw a lot of things on there that I liked. I saw Iron and Wine, I saw Beirut. These are bands that really connect with me personally as well. Bands that have like a real melody to their songwriting. It's not always regarded as complex, maybe, but I think you guys seem to kind of shift that. I mean, there's more parts involved. Obviously, Iron and Wine does most of what he does just basically on his own. But what's the process like when you guys are in a jam space? How do the songs kind of become what they are?
Well, usually one of our two incredibly talented songwriters comes to the floor with a riff and is like, guys, let's work on this.
Yeah.
And it's
Do they
like,
keep the pose? Do they get it going? Yeah.
All right.
Superman.
I have a
Yes.
And that's like, the little seed that then, as a band we germinate.
Thank you.
To use an agricultural metaphor, as we like.
Yeah. As you like, as you're known to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, there's a lot of those spinning through the album
We
for
used those
sure.
in the high school yesterday. Yeah, I mean, often the songs are like lyrically mostly there, melodically mostly there, chordally mostly there. Sometimes there's a bit of, should we have another verse or should there be an instrumental section, whatever, left to be organized. But the feel is, hasn't been made yet, it's just one instrument.
Right.
So we do a lot of sort of feeling out what the feel's going to be, running it through, listening to it, and a lot of, oh, cool, we could put triplets there, or wait, I've got an idea, you know,
Let's
sort
add a
of
bar
stuff.
5.
Yeah, let's add a bar 5.
So it kind of
That's
comes
fun.
with a structure, and then pieces are added, kind of thing, over
Exactly.
time. And
Well, the nice things that I think is really starting to happen too is we'll start tacking on really complex vocal harmonies.
Right.
So, now that we have 4 really strong voices in the band, I think there's a lot of time spent on piano figuring out the voice leading for, an
Alex
entirely...
pulls out his
Absolutely.
paper and starts writing out.
Yeah, we start writing the whole thing out.
Music school.
Yeah. So that's a really exciting development in terms of the songwriting, I mean,
Yeah.
you can be plunking around there on your guitar and making a really great country song, but then having the chance to really expand that out
Right.
times 4 instruments and 4 voices is really cool.
Well, I don't want to ignore Brett here on the end, so I'll ask you this question. I mean, am I wrong in perceiving that kind of where the world's at right now, it seems to be a little more accepting of folk music kind of overall? It seems like there's bands like Mumford and Sons that are really kind of pushing that space out there, and you guys are going from coffee shops to stadiums now. What's that about? I mean, is that
We're not playing
realistic?
stadiums yet.
Well, I mean, it could happen. The phone
Nobody
could
out
be
there
ringing.
knows that.
Yeah.
What else is Champion Jacks Arena?
Yeah.
right.
We'll just cross off the add the arena at the end. No, I think there's been... I actually had an interesting discussion with Gordy's guitar shop in Victoria.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, and he says we're in this era right now where he sells acoustic guitars like 8-to-1 to electric guitars.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and I don't know if that has any impact on music in terms of the music people are listening to, but it's obvious that people are buying acoustic instruments and playing acoustic instruments.
Right.
Yeah, I think like Mumford and Sons and like they're definitely, I won't say earlier pioneers in the last 5-6 years, but there's a lot of bands now who kind of just sound like them.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's definitely in terms of breaking. There's been a huge folk resurgence in England and in BC too. Like got Dan Mangan, Aidan Knight.
Yeah.
Who else is really popping right now?
Do you guys worry about that at all, though? Like, when it comes to that? Because that's a pretty dinosaur kind of way that the record company does things, or the industry has always done things. Somebody catches on, like Mumford and Sons, and then all of a sudden you see about another 50 bands that have that same sound.
Yeah.
Do you guys worry about ever getting lumped into kind of some sort of popular group that's making something like that?
Not
I
terribly
feel like
right
the
now.
folk music scene in BC is just strong.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
not really
it's always
worried
been
about
there.
being
Right.
associated with that at all,
I
because
think
everyone seems to be doing well and supporting each other. So
Right.
We're just kind of like, I don't know, we do our own thing as a band and don't try and really copy anyone per se.
Yeah.
yeah,
And so I don't, we don't try and strive towards being like a certain band, and so I think we're kind of
yeah.
keep it
Keeps it
original
more
like that.
organic that way,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, we are folk, for lack of a better term. We also go by indie roots. We also go by third wave folk group.
So there was something about chamber music on
Yeah,
there
chamber
as
music,
well.
you know.
Yeah.
Prog folk,
Prog folk,
so on and
etc.,
so
etc.
forth.
So when someone's coming at you, you really don't know how they're going to describe your music.
Yeah,
to
Adrian
you,
once
right?
called us a pop band disguised as a folk band. So
I mean, I
Yeah,
could kind of see
kinda,
that. You know,
so.
I could see that.
The Cascade ran out this. Jeff sent me this thing for the Cascade, which is the University of Fraser Valley paper,
Yeah.
and it was literally all those words said
and
combined and
Right,
hyphenated,
yeah.
just ran back to back like a train.
Our description on Twitter is something like indie prog folk third wave
Cascadian
third
indie
wave
roots
roots
or something.
Cascading. I don't know.
But in
It's
terms
like 10
of,
words.
I mean, you guys are indie artists, and that gives you. I mean, even the label itself, to have it like that, gives you guys so much more creative freedom and so much more less expectation from people in terms of what you're going to sound like over time, right? It gives you that ability to change over time, album to album, do what you want to do, grow, right? I mean, that's going to be a positive over time, I think, to even just, lay it out there like that. It's confusing, sure, you know what, but music's weird with its labels and genres anyway. It just is.
Yeah, I think that's really what this group is about. It's just like doing whatever we want, because we don't have any expectations, and we can just kind of.
Yeah.
It's just for fun, and so.
Yeah,
do what we want with it.
And having gone, for a lot of us have gone to music school as well, and have been in multiple different kinds of projects, so we've got a really wide variety of influences.
It kind of helps you
So-
adapt from song to song, and plus, I mean, it's accepted. You guys probably accept ideas more readily as a band and as a group, just knowing that you have that kind of experience out there, and that each idea has kind of got some merit on its own, right? Worth exploring for sure, I would imagine. Mandolin.
Me.
Mandolin.
One of the dudes.
I love it. You know, it's not used enough. What brought you to the mandolin though? Like, how did you find that?
Small.
It was smaller. I'm a bassist by trade.
Okay.
Like, my day job is playing bass all over Victoria.
Yeah.
So I still do that a lot. But mandolin I picked up, I think it was maybe 4 years ago or so. I ended up stumbling into Bright Eyes, the Conroe Burst stuff, and I was listening to his album on Wide Awake this morning, and then the second song on that just starts off just out of nowhere with this little mandolin line. It's like da 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 do da 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 do, and like that's such a cool sounding instrument. Where's that been all my life? So like, I found a couple other songs that just had some mandolin bits in them. Like, this is a really cool sounding instrument. So I went out and got this crappy little Epiphone mandolin for like $200 or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just taught myself to play on it. It's just such a cool sounding instrument.
Picked it up and couldn't put it down, eh?
And yeah, and since I've had that, the different music I've been listening to with mandolin just keeps going out and out. I keep getting better at it, so I got a mandolin that doesn't suck as much.
I mean, it helps when you get that upgrade too for your own sound, right? And what you want to do with it.
Yeah,
for
when
sure.
you get an instrument that will actually facilitate the things you want to do on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's been a fun ride.
Now, accordion. I mean, I just saw actually brilliant accordion performance. Not even just the other day. It was probably like 2 days ago. I don't know many people that really continue to play it. So every time I see it, I think it's rare and it's awesome. Though I continually see it from the same one person, so it'd be awesome to see it from somebody else other than Weird Al Yankovic. But he tried out for the Postal Service the other day, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Played one of their full songs on accordion. It was great. Just on a Funny or Die website.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was so awesome. But how readily do you find, like, are people accepting of the accordion? Like, is that something that people look at and, like, you bring it out on stage and they're like, oh no, or like...
The amount of times I've heard, like, I don't normally like accordion, but when you play...
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've actually gotten the same thing with soprano sax.
Right.
You know, being a saxophone major and doing the soprano sax thing and like classical stuff.
Right.
People are like, oh, like I didn't know it could sound like that. And you know, there's definitely a lot of accordion jokes. You know, like what's the difference between an accordion and a trampoline? You know, but
you don't take your shoes off to jump on the accordion.
You don't take your shoes off to jump on the accordion.
Right.
When you do take your shoes off to jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean it's.
They'll get it. You know, they'll get it.
Well, just
give
take a
them some
minute.
praise.
Just get it on the way home.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's kind of, I'm just self-taught. I mean, someone just gave me an accordion once, and much like Alex's first mandolin, it was a bit of a piece of junk. It was disintegrating inside, and so I've been gradually upgrading as I go. There's this store in Victoria that will do, you know, you can trade in the accordion that you bought from them for the same value for 2 years. And so, you know, after a couple of years, I'll like go in and get a slightly better one and try to build it in.
Oh, okay. I see.
So instead of spending like $2,000 all at once,
like you leased an accordion somehow almost. That's pretty cool.
You know, one day we had a show downtown Victoria, and I was, you know, just hanging around downtown 2 hours beforehand, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I just like went and sold my accordion and bought another one.
Right. That's logical.
Hey guys, look what I got.
I mean, how many times have you guys done that where you're standing there and you're like, what should I do right now? I should buy an accordion. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I should sell my instrument and then buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I've gotten some good feedback from it, so...
Yeah. Well, I tell you, my studio other half here, Rob, when he saw that there was an accordion in the band, that was the first thing he said. He's like, why don't we have a fucking accordion? What's going on here? I'm like, I'm sorry, man, we'll get one, okay?
Yeah, it's so great for filling out the, like, richness tone in the mid-range. You know, it gives us a lot more opportunities for expression.
Well, again, it's unique, right? You know, it does separate you guys a lot from what, you know, all of these different elements that you guys are bringing in. Mandolin, you know, you've got toy saxophone, even. These things separate you and put you apart. So you guys are on the mainland right now. Why? What's going on over here? I mean, Champion Jack's tonight, but what else? Where have you been? Where are you going?
Well, Eden's a teacher, and so she's on spring break right now.
Okay.
So we thought, hey, let's go on tour. And a while ago, this was actually all Brett's idea.
Yeah.
He emailed me and
Was
was
it
like,
my idea originally?
yeah, you just
Oh.
Yeah.
Facebook the band.
Jeff was like, hey, want to do a
just
tour
got
with Brett?
promoted,
We were
Brett.
like,
This level. This is awesome.
Yeah, he just messaged us. He's like, hey, we should do a tour sometime. I think this was last summer.
Yeah, I think it was last
And
summer.
so then it finally worked out. We're like, well, why not? Let's just do it. Spring break, okay?
Yeah.
And so we started in Victoria, and then we thought we'd just do a bunch of stuff around the mainland. So we did Vancouver, the New Westminster, stopped by at a high school in Poco to do some workshops.
Oh yeah, which
And
high school?
Riverside Secondary.
Riverside Secondary. That rings a bell.
It was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Were they good people?
It
Oh,
was so
amazing.
much fun.
Yeah, I
Highlight
know.
of the tour, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
I
good.
know the music teacher there. I went to university with her, so it was sort of
Who's the music?
Leah Chua. Yeah,
Chua.
she's new there this year, but
Right.
yeah, so that was like, it was nice for us to be able to sneak in there because we know
Yeah,
her, you know?
yeah.
And spend a day with like 70 to 90 high school students
No
doing
kidding.
songwriting.
And it's a beautiful school. I mean, I only know
It's
this
nice
because I was extremely worried that once I saw that you went there, that I was like, how much research are they doing into me on my side? Because I was the first graduating class of Riverside.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
all
once
right
I saw that was up there, I was like, that is pretty cool. So, I mean, that's common ground.
Yeah, no kidding. No, the students there are super talented. I
Yeah.
mean, we spent a day with them and had them write a song and had them learn one of ours and
In a
make
block.
a music
Cool.
video.
They
Wow.
mastered the song in a block on guitar and voice, including the 4-part harmonies at the end of TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, exactly. Like, I mean, they just, the work that we did with them during the entire day was super, super high quality, and I was just impressed with the caliber of the students that they have over there. It was great.
Right on.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about their music program and how it's going to be growing and is growing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
with
I mean,
that
they've got
teacher.
that great theater there, too. That's a good kind of
Yeah, they
right
just
into
finished
that
Les Mis. Like,
cafeteria work.
I was teaching this song to some kids, and they're like, "Yeah, I just finished my run on Les Mis."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I can tell because
Yeah.
you're singing really well."
Well, and some people, they have that kind of, tell as to what they're going to do in the future kind of thing. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story about my own experience at Riverside and how I maybe should have known what I would do with my life. But I was the kid that first of all couldn't get out of bed by 7 o'clock in the morning to go to his class. And then the second thing that I did was make the major switch from textbooks into actually storing a sleeping bag and pillows in my locker. And that's what I would basically do. I'd go to class, as soon as I had that free block, I'd pull out my pillow and my sleeping bag and just go right to town and sleep in the hallway. Teachers hated it, but years later, here I am with sleeping bags all in a music studio.
Awesome.
It kind of makes you wonder, right? But so, with you guys, did you always know that music was something you were going to do? Has it always come to you naturally?
Me?
Yeah,
Brett, go.
Sure, Brett, your turn, bud.
I took classical guitar lessons, I guess, for like 10 years when I was starting grade 3. And then when I was in high school on the Sunshine Coast, I joined the Coast String Fiddlers, which is like a Celtic youth group. And that's actually how I met Jeff originally, was a connection I made in Coast String Fiddlers. Is a good friend, I guess. You all know Chelsea Sleep. But yeah, just the music community is very small in BC. And then didn't play for a couple years, and I've just kind of been pursuing it in the last couple years more
Right.
full steam, and then here we are today.
Yeah. So
yeah.
and I'll keep this off the record if this isn't right, but are you opening tonight for what's
Yeah.
my friend?
Shared show.
Yeah, it's like a shared show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing equal amounts of music, and
Right.
we shared the booking and sharing the promo.
Yeah, I like how you're putting that. I mean, there's definitely a heavy emphasis on shared. That's not going unnoticed here.
Yeah.
So, is that how you approach it, though? This is definitely a bill where you guys are both playing.
Yeah.
Does one get
Yeah.
longer than the other, or is it just not really a factor?
5 or 10 minutes, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
So
anything, our set might be longer, but that's because we talk more.
Yeah.
Alex talks about
We mostly me, but
Well, and going from
Really?
like a guitarist and singer to
Yeah.
a full band,
Yeah.
that sort of impression. But you're mixing an album right now too, right?
Yeah,
So there's a
yeah.
lot of stuff
We're actually
going on.
listening to it on the way
yeah,
over.
yeah, we were
Really?
listening to it in
Yeah.
the drive out from
Yeah.
Chilliwack.
The
and
first
sounded
mix
good.
just sounds incredible.
Yeah, we're
we're
excited.
already happy and excited on a first mix, so that's good indication,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's kind of scary, but
I mean, you got to be excited, though, right?
yeah, it's
Good
like a scary excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So details, like, do we know when kind of it's coming out, or do you have an idea?
August sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually being mixed, or was mixed, in the process of being mixed in the Fraser Valley by John Anderson. Yeah, it's called Mother Earth, and it's all about family and the planet.
Right. So life experiences
Yeah.
and like kind of your relationships towards it kind of thing?
Towards, yeah, just about my experience living on the earth, I guess, and about family. Like or about the family unit, or really close friends who you consider family.
Right. I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't really write, like songs just kind of come to you and you start writing them. It's like, I don't really seek anything out. I don't know what your songwriting process is, but it's like, inspiration is a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. You
It
know,
is.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I can sit down and be like, I'm going to write a song about X and actually do it. Except sometimes with like funny songs, you can do that. But
Right.
when it's less like, when the lyrics are less steeped in meaning, you know?
Yeah.
I find I usually end up doing that.
Yeah,
I find if I try and sit down and just let it go, it just doesn't happen. So I find if I want to actually get something coherent together, what I did with one song I actually just free wrote like a short story. So then once I had that basis down, then I kind of just like shoehorned it into
Right, took the plot of your
verse form,
story
yeah.
into... I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my lyric writing comes just from like I'll be singing a riff over a guitar part and I'll just say random words.
Right.
Or I'll like see an image and say random words and then I'll
tones or
fill,
something.
yeah, exactly. And then I'll fill in like a few lines and then maybe leave it or think about it for a bit and be like, what could this mean? Or like, where is the meaning going? And then
Right.
sort of build on that idea.
Yeah, I've always found like as a singer for myself, it's always been like syllables. Like, okay, great, that's the word I've got there. Now what's the word that should be there? You know, I need 3 of these right here.
Yeah.
Take It Slow is a great example of just kind of really good filmmaking. Great shots in that video, great child stars. Basically loved everything about it. The song itself, of course, is incredible. I forgive the beard murder at this point. Jeff, you and I, we're cool, man. It's all good. You played a toy saxophone. In my books, that makes it all right. But we are a music show and I want to close out strong. So let's see another clip from West My Friend and what they can do and what they're currently all about. This video was shot by a friend of ours who runs another site called Everyday Music TV. The guy's name is Rod Matheson and he's nothing short of incredible. He's a one-man machine that goes around and films as many bands as possible, and his goal is to get 1,000 bands straight up, day after day, onto his site with a song. It's incredible what he does and the work that goes into getting around town and just making this happen. So we appreciate the footage shot by Rod, and we'd like to show that to you in this song here from West My Friend called Troubles on SBS Live this week.
I have troubles raining down on me.
Trouble.
I have troubles, I have troubles raining down.
Trouble.
I have troubles, I have troubles raining down on me. Yeah, and this old road is bringing me far from my home. I have troubles, I have troubles raining down, raining down. All of our bodies are tender on the underside, so please don't cover up underneath your pride in that tattered suitcase. No, if you hit the ground running without a pause to where you'll go, then you're only running from. I have troubles raining down on me. ain't only good as a shield if you hold it just so. Oh, oh. So hold your choices tight. I have troubles raining down on me. I have troubles raining down, raining down. I have troubles raining down on me. And this old road isn't bringing me far from my home. I have troubles raining down, raining down. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Doom, ba-dum, 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 doom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Doom, ba-dum, 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 doom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, doom, doom, ba-dum, doom, 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 doom. Your burlesque show would be the best I know, wrapped in shadows and fierce as hell. And your radio show would be the best I know. Listen closely and you hear an echo. And your traveling show would be the best I know. So familiar the tales you tell, and anything and everything you show would be the best I know. And I know, yeah, I know now. I know the callous won't form on broken skin, and I'm always shocked by the mess I'm in. And the thistle it knows, though it bends in the wind, but you can't stop reaching and growing. I know callous won't form on broken skin, and I'm always shocked by the mess I'm in. And the thistle it knows, though it bends in the wind, but you can't stop reaching and growing. I know callous won't form on broken skin, and I'm always shocked by the mess I'm in. And the thistle it knows, though it bends in the wind, but you can't stop reaching and growing. I know callous won't form on broken skin, and I'm always shocked by the mess I'm in. Thistle it knows, though it bends in the wind, but you can't stop reaching and growing.
I'd like to give a huge thank you to West, my friend, Adam, Alex, Eden, and of course Jeff. Thank you very much for being here again with me in the studio. We haven't even shouted out Brett yet, and Brett, dude, it was awesome to have you here with West, my friend. We really appreciate you stopping by as well on your tour. Again, it'd be rude for me not to mention the album, right? This is Brett. And Brett, I never got the official pronunciation on your last name. It could go either way here. It could go Wildeman, but I'm going with Wildeman. So this is Brett Wildeman. Portraits. Check that out. This is definitely an album worth listening to. And the guy himself, unbelievable to talk to. Just a very chilled out personality, and I really appreciated him stopping by with West, my friend. So on Sunday at the Vancouver Island Music Awards, West, my friend, we wish you the best of luck in Best Roots Album of the Year, and we know you're going to do well. No matter what happens, no matter what goes forward, you guys are in this to win this, and it's very apparent. You're out there all the time on your social media boards. You're posting all kinds of links for people to see, and you're really connected to your fans. It shows that you care, and believe me, man, if you show them a little, they'll show you a lot in return. So thank you very much, West, my friend, and we look forward to seeing you here again on SBS Live this week in Part 2. We'll keep the other news short today because we got a lot of promos to still run. We've got Phoenix Lazar coming up, which I am absolutely happy, very, very happy to show you. This is a bright, bright, shining star of the future. Another representative from the Vancouver Island Music Awards as Youth Artist of the Year. There's other ones coming up too. We've got Spaceport Union, we've got Jeff Howe. There's lots of names and lots of promos coming out. So make sure you're checking the channel, youtube.com/sleepingbagstudios, and we'll show you lots more stuff to come on VIMA 2013 and SBS. I don't know. I couldn't really think of a good title. SBS Live this week. We'll see you next time.